All right, well, thank you for having me here today, everybody. It's my pleasure to show you a little bit about Fair Oaks. Has any of you guys been to Fair Oaks before? Okay, so I have some people who are kind of familiar with what we do. So before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got started in agriculture. I did not grow up on a farm. I grew up in the country with my parents. My dad is a city boy through and through. He worked in the city, and then he worked in Toronto in Canada. My mom grew up on a farm, so we'd always go back and visit the farm, go to my uncle's dairy farm. I was in FFA. I did 4-H. But other than that, it wasn't something I did on a day in and day out basis until I had to pay for college. I needed to help pay for college, so I needed to find a job, and Bellster Milling Company had openings on some of their sow farms. So I worked in one of their sow farms in the farrowing barn, which is the maternity ward, essentially, and I worked there for about 2.5 years, just with the pigs, just birthing pigs. I've seen so many different things. I've seen a 2-headed pig. Not many people can say they've birthed a 2-headed pig, but I have. It's pretty interesting stuff, but that's how I got my start in agriculture, and I just fell in love with it. It's something that I love to do. It's part of my work life, and it's part of my home life now. I am going to be marrying a beef cattle farmer in September, so that's all he does. So on our Saturday nights, we don't go out to parties or anything. We don't go out with our friends. We haul manure. That's all we do. So yeah, but I mean, it's a pretty simple lifestyle, but it's something that we love. We both enjoy doing, so it doesn't seem like work to us. So before I get into any more talking, I have a little video for you all to see. So that's just a little video just to kind of give you a brief history, a little bit about how we got started and when we got started. Now we have We have 2 farms that you can go and see. We have our dairy farm and we have our pig farm. So along with that, we have some goals for ourselves. These are goals that we share with all of our employees who work on the tour floors. So we can help educate the public when they come here. These are the 3 things that we really want them to walk away knowing more about and understanding. And they're the agriculture and the environment are compatible, agriculture and animal welfare are compatible, and the products are good for you. Agriculture and the environment are super compatible. Here at Fair Oaks, we use all of our deer manure and we turn it into the compressed natural gas through our anaerobic digesters, and it fuels all of our milk trucks. So all of our milk trucks leaving all of our 11 dairy farms in the Fair Oaks area are fueled by the manure from our cows and the pigs at the Pig Adventure. So when we're not just using it for waste, we're not just putting it on our land, we're also using it to fuel our vehicles. So it helps it helps with the sustainability aspect. It helps connect that circle when people can see, oh, you really do use everything. We have one of our CNG gas stations, CNG stations there on campus that our tour buses drive past. We have our anaerobic digesters, one of our sites, that they actually can drive past and learn more about too. It helps make that connection. Agriculture and animal welfare are compatible. Now, how many of you are visual learners? All right, so am I. So if I'm just to tell you that I take really good care of my pigs, are you going to believe me? If I just tell you, you're going to want to see it, right? So that's why we opened our barn doors. You can go into our farms. You're standing above our working pig farm. You can see our farmers interacting with our pigs, so you can actually see that we take care of our pigs. When you drive through our dairy barns, you can actually see our dairymen working with our cows and moving our cows and handling our cows, so you can see that we're taking good care of our animals. I know for me, if someone's just to tell me something, I'm not going to believe it. I got to see it for myself. So by having our barn doors open, having that transparency there to help educate the public, help show them that really what we are doing is good for our animals. We are treating them with the utmost respect and care, then it really helps them to understand, oh, so all those crazy videos that like Chipotle put out, those really aren't all that true. And we can say, yes, they're not all that true. We do take care of our animals. We care about our animals. Sometimes my pigs get better treatment than I do. They go to the doctor, they see the vet before I go to the doctor, and I get medicine. So it really helps having our doors open to help show them that we do care about our animals in every way possible. And then the products are good for you. By having them see the process of where their milk comes from, where the bacon comes from, where their pork loins come from, it helps them to understand, oh, so I can eat this. It's not going to be bad for me. Transparency, it's huge. We've opened our barn doors at Fair Oaks Farms to help educate the public. Like it was said before, less than 2% of the nation are farmers. Less than 2%. So the rest of the population, it just has to trust us and just trust us on our word. Like I said, people who are visual learners, they need to see it. So by opening up our barn doors, we're able to show them that what we're doing is good for them. Just because we do it doesn't mean that everybody has to do it. I'm not telling you, oh, you all need to go open up your barn doors. Not everybody's comfortable with doing that. Not all farmers are comfortable getting up in front of people and talking to people. It was hard enough for my fiance to propose to me. And he was just talking to me, not a room full of people. So to get farmers to open up their barn doors and say, yeah, come on into my farm, I'll show you around, chances of that happening are slim. It's going to take a few select people to actually say, oh yeah, I'll do this for you, I can do this. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do our part for agriculture and showing the public and educating the public on modern day pig farming and modern day dairy farming, and hopefully some other types of farming too. Attendance. This is probably one of the busiest months for me to be away from work. Today we have 700 school kids coming to Fair Oaks Farms from ages 5 through 10. 700 school kids ages 5 from 10. It's going to be a madhouse. So I'm kind of glad I'm here with you guys. It's a little bit of a intellectual conversation then, instead of just talking to 5 through 10-year-olds. So it's huge. April through June are our busiest months. You can see last year that July was our busiest for walk-ins because everybody's on summer vacation. Families are traveling down I-65 where we're located. They're stopping in, they're seeing what we have. But then you can see that May was our busiest for pre-booked groups last year. Now, pre-booked group is anybody who calls myself or our adventure coordinator and says, hey, I want to come, I want to bring a group out. All right, so we send them their packet, we put them in our calendar system. They're now a pre-booked group. And from April through the first part of June, our pre-booked groups are all schools. This year, in May, we have 3 days where those are our only 3 days available for groups to book. Everything else is booked solid with schools. So that's huge. It means that what we're doing is obviously interesting to the public, to everybody around us. So why stop with what we're doing here? We want to keep expanding and keep people coming in, new people coming in, to see what we have. It's huge. What's new? Like in that video, you saw that our pig adventure opened in August of 2013. It was such an exciting time at Fair Oaks Farms. For 8 years before that, it was just dairy. So then to introduce the pigs into it, it was just fantastic. It was so much activity, so much excitement around the dairies, around our area, especially on the pig side of things. For me, everybody's getting to see the coolest animal alive. Okay, I'm a little bit biased because I love pigs. But it was really cool to help expand what we're teaching everybody, what we're helping them to understand even further. They're not just learning about dairy cattle and about that process. Now they're learning about pigs. This past July, we opened up our farm-to-table restaurant. Everything served at the farmhouse is from Fair Oaks Farms. But if we can't find it on our farm, then it comes from local farms in and around our community. That's something that is really interesting to food gurus, I guess, around is they want farm to table. They want that farm to table experience. Well, we have it, and it's on our farm. So you can come and see our cows, you can come see our pigs, and then you can eat at our house. And so it's really cool. And then in October this past year, our market and bakery opened. And if you go there, anything that you eat at the farmhouse, you can buy at the market and take it home for you to cook. So, and they have some really good cinnamon rolls too. So next time you come out to Fair Oaks, go and get their cinnamon rolls. They are great. You won't need to eat for 2 days, but it's well worth it. Now what's next? Everybody likes to ask, what's next? I've been coming for 5 years. What else do you got? Well, this past May 1st, we opened up our pork education center. So right before then, we had our pig adventure, which is where we showed everybody how we take care of our animals. And I think we did a pretty good job with that. But then now we needed to show them, well, what the pig does for us in return. So at the Pork Education Center, it talks about all the biomedical products that you can get from pigs. It talks about the food products, how to cook and prepare pork the proper way. Not many people know how to. How many of you have had a really dry, tough pork tenderloin before? So at the Pork Education Center, you can find recipes and proper techniques to cook a pork tenderloin where it's juicy and not tough. It'll be nice and tender. So it's really cool. We were talking about more opening up our barn doors, having that transparency. A couple years ago, we had Dirty Jobs come out to Fair Oaks Farms. Mike Rowe did an episode, and he was on the dairy farm, so he got to do a C-section, got to go into our anaerobic digesters, got real dirty. Well, then this past January, when it was bitter cold, the Redwood Kings from the Redwood Kings TV show on Animal Planet came out, and they designed a tree house for our Pork Education Center. So they came out in January. They're all from California. They wanted to come out when it was snow and cold. They thought it would be fun. I don't think they really realized that they were coming to northern Indiana in January. And I had to be outside with them the whole week long. I tell you what, it took me 2 weeks to defrost every toe and every finger that I have. Good grief. But they designed a treehouse for us, like an old style farmhouse, kind of whimsical feel. And then they filmed the whole process of them installing it in the bitter cold in January. And then they wanted to go into one of our pig farms. Because why not? They're on the farm. Why not come onto our farm? So we showered the whole film crew through our showers. And let me tell you what, all these city people from California who had never been on a farm before, let alone showered into a pig farm before, oh, it was hilarious. It was so funny. They came out asking, "Are you sure you want us to do this?" Like, yeah, come on in. It's all right. We open our barn doors all the time. People come and see our farm. They stand above us. They're like, "Is it going to smell?" Well, I can't lie. Yes, it's going to smell. How bad? Well, I mean, it's a farm. Like, well, yeah, but how bad? Well, just come out and you'll see for yourself. I can't tell you. I can't smell it anymore. Like, how can you not smell it? I'm like, I've done it for so long. So we took them all through, and about halfway through the filming in our barns, they were asking if we had any masks so that they could put over their nose to help mask the smell. And I think we have maybe about 2 or 3. So I got those, and I said, here, this is all we have. But it was a real treat. It was super fun to see them come into our farm, and they had no knowledge of pig farming. They had no idea what we do on a daily basis. So you might see me on the TV when they were showered in downstairs, and I was their tour guide downstairs on our farm. And I say downstairs because our main tour adventure is upstairs. It's plopped on top of our farm. So downstairs, it was really cool to help show them and help teach them about pig farming, about what goes into it. They got to experience it firsthand. A couple of them actually got to sleeve some sows and pull some piglets. It was really cool. One of the guys was a new dad. So that was really cool for him to see that process. And it just to help show them and see their eyes light up when they finally make that connection. Oh, wow, this is so cool. And it's going to be on TV. So, I mean, how much better can you get there? Also, we are hoping to open up an egg adventure in an aquaponic greenhouse in the near future. The eggs will be chickens. I don't know how many chickens, but I know it'll be chickens and eggs. And then the aquaponic greenhouse is a greenhouse on top of like a little pond with fish. And the fish are going to fertilize the vegetables or the greenery, whatever's grown in there, and then they're going to eat any bacteria that could grow in the water. But that's all I know about that. And here are just some pictures for those of you who have not been out to Fair Oaks Farms before. And even if you have, it's growing and expanding. Like I said, we have the pork education building open. Now we're having the crappie building open. The farmhouse and the bakery are there now. So it's a huge change. We have our dairy adventure building, which is our dairy education part, the part where you go and hang out before you go see your cows. We have Mooville, which is outside. It's actually just opened this past weekend, so everybody loves Mooville. And then our birthing barn. We have a special barn just on our main campus that we bring pregnant heifers and pregnant cows, and they have their babies there. And I kid you not, I have never seen so many third graders get so quiet so fast. They just sit there and they're just staring. They just stare, just like this, and they just want to see that baby. And once the baby's born, a couple of them go, "Ew, that's gross." But everybody claps, everybody cheers, and then it gets silent. Then they're just watching and watching and watching. And then the baby stands up, and then they erupt. They have so much fun with that. It is so adorable and cute to see. Then here we have our pork education building, which is brand new, really exciting. And then we have our pig adventure there. We have the 3 different barns for you to see. We have our growing barn, which is where we grow our gilt pigs to replace our old sows. We have our breeding gestation, and then we have our farrowing barns as well. We have our crop adventure. We have the projected view of what it's supposed to look like, and then we have the construction view, the actual view, which has changed since I put this picture on there. Now we have some of the roof is actually being finished now, so that's really exciting. We have our cafe, which serves our delicious cheese, our grilled cheese sandwiches, and our ice cream. And then now we have our big farmhouse restaurant, which also has a banquet side as well. We have a couple weddings there, so a couple bridal showers, and we've even had some proms there, so that's really exciting. And then we have our market and bakery.